having a wonderful, fantabulous, and mystical day. Over in the mystical side of life, we have our friend...
Hello!
Emilia, talking with us about the Dungeons & Dragons character that we made last week and the week before that and the week before that. We've been doing a lot of D&D stuff recently.
Yes, we have.
Yes. So Emilia is a pretty cool artist. She does a couple things on Instagram. She's really good at video editing stuff.
Thank you.
And really amazing at storytelling. She wrote the thing that you guys listened to last week, and it was pretty awesome. In case you guys haven't checked that out, go check that out. Link for that will be either at the end of the video or in the description, probably at the end because I don't want to edit the text.
Valid.
Anyways, guys, if you didn't know, my name is Manuel Aguilar, aka Mysticfox, and let's get started. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about like the character that we started last week. Last week we talked about the prologue, but this week we're going to actually talk about the character and our thoughts and what we think is really cool about it, and how you guys can kind of have fun with it. Because you guys can change anything that we make because it's not really set in stone. It's just kind of something we put together. Yeah. So
just us bonding over how much we like D&D and how much we're nerds, basically.
Tell me about it. I mean, honestly, I think we're all a little bit nerdy, but it's chill because as long as we make it work, you know.
We can keep it on the down low, you know. No one has to know.
No one has to know that we're nerds, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so now let's talk about the
inspiration for the character.
Yeah.
I remember when we sat down and started talking about characters, the first thing that we wanted to do was like flipped tropes and seeing how we could take classes and essentially make characters that you didn't quite expect would fit into those classes. So we ended up going with a like corrupted paladin, because at least all the paladins I've ever played with are very wholesome, good, pious people, and we were like, okay, how do we make the worst paladin possible? Like, how do we just make someone we kind of hate?
Yeah, and it's not even so much that we hated this character. It was
I love him.
Yeah, no, it's just that the way that it came across was like when we initially made it, and I remember the way that we made it. We set like, what was it, 6 characters? Yeah,
I think 6 for each side of a die.
Yeah, we did 6 for each side of a die, and then we had like not personality, but like we rolled the stats, and that's how we got all of the stuff for it.
Yeah,
and I remember during that section, like when we actually got Corrupt Paladin, I was like, ooh, what is a Corrupt Paladin? And you started telling me about like the whole idea you had around that.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And how did we end up with the merman?
I think we were going to roll for races, and then you suggested, what if we did a merman? And it was mermay, and I was like, oh boy. We have to.
Yes.
It's law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, we're artists and we like to do things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I catch me doing stuff all the time.
I catch me doing stuff all...
Yeah.
Okay. So let's describe our character to these people a little bit. And it doesn't have to be super accurate to like maybe like in the grand scape of it, but just to whatever we remember.
I remember I wanted someone who was very confident but not very smart. That someone who doesn't know that he's dumb, essentially, and is charismatic to an extent. But essentially just someone that you would love to hate if you ever met him, I guess.
Oh, okay. So me, right? She's
what? No, definitely not. Definitely not
okay,
drawing from it.
Bro.
No, but I wanted to think of a paladin who basically had a god who wasn't asking him to do anything. Like, had a god who was sort of like, please kind of leave me out of this, but okay, fine.
I remember that. We were talking a lot about that.
Yeah.
So, like, the big thing that I had on that was, like, we wanted to make him, like, greedy, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't want to make him a bad person. So, like, the family that we made for him was actually, like, they were the bad ones, and he was actually the good one.
I just watched a piece on televangelists and how they can basically do whatever. So, like, having a family of, like, televangelists
This is interesting. I did not hear this before.
But basically, the fact that you have this family who is taking people's earnest wishes to be good people and to lead this life that is wholesome and pious, essentially, and then making bank off of it and making it into a corporation. That was my inspiration for his family. Him being a little bit too stupid to kind of see it, and just equating...
I think that's a big part of it, though.
Yeah. Equating gold to respect, I think, is a huge thing for him.
Oh, and talk more about that, because I don't think they know that part yet.
Okay. So something for him is that he grew up in this family where the way that you were shown respect was if you got money. You know, the kids would get toys and prizes whenever they did something that someone enjoyed in the family. So like, oh, you did well spearing your first minnow. Here you go. Here's like the fantasy equivalent of like Gucci bag or something.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. There you go. Had to insert that in there somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
But he still carries that with him. So whenever he meets someone that he respects, he presents them with gold. And if someone presents him not with gold, he's like, excuse me?
And I remember we were talking about that too, and how gold to him, it doesn't equivalent to like actual currency. It's just a way of him showing like a kind of respect. So like I remember we were talking a lot about like where we were, let's say he walks into a store, right? And he's trying to pay for something. It wasn't so much that he didn't understand how much it cost, but he was also paying somebody for like in terms of respect. So he would give somebody more gold than it was worth. And I thought that was really cool, because in terms of his character and how he kind of comes across, I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Because that's all he knows.
Yeah.
So in case any of you guys play this character, remember, you always have to double whatever amount of gold you give. So
exactly.
You will be bankrupt.
You will be poor very quickly, but you will look amazing. You will buy the finest things in life, and you'll be very popular with people that you like. People you don't like, you're gonna just try to get free things wherever you can, essentially.
Yeah,
is he like, you're not really good at your job. You don't deserve this. Just give it to me.
Rich snobby people attitude. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it for the actual character, right? Like that's his basis.
Yeah. So we wanted someone who was, just to recap, dumb but doesn't know it. Does have working knowledge of the world that he comes from, but has been essentially transplanted into a world that he's never been to before, or never been on land. He's never known anyone to go on land. So in his eyes, he's brave and think like Ariel with her fork that she thinks is a comb.
Yeah. Something
along those lines. Someone who is very driven and doesn't just sit back on his laurels. He could just be wealthy in the ocean forever, but he doesn't want that. He wants the acknowledgement of being a very good priest or holy man, essentially. But it's a little misguided, because his way of measuring worth is through the monetary gold, even though he doesn't quite understand that. He knows that it can buy expensive things, but he doesn't quite understand that you can buy things with silver and copper as well. Since those don't have the respect element, why even bother? And he wants it his way or the highway, and that extends to his God as well. So if his God gives him pushback, he's like, no, this is what you're going to do so that I can be the head priest. Yeah, and I remember a lot of that when we were talking it over and discussing it, because there are little aspects that we want to leave kind of gray, and one of those is the actual God, because we wanted the God to, for you guys online, so you guys can like imagine him and have which way you wanted to, or you can do the alternative route, which is like, design the character and draw him yourself, because I feel like that's an important part about this is like. Yeah. You guys get to make stuff however you want, and because it's D&D, there's so much room for like error that you guys can just run with it. And I hope you guys enjoy this character, because this character was really fun for both me and Amelia to put together. Yeah, but so I'm gonna cut it there, and then we're gonna continue some more stuff on the next episode.
But as always, guys, just remember, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys like this character in the future, we can possibly make even more together.
Yes.
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 And as always, guys, stay mystical.